Hiya, and thank you so much for taking the time to actually watch my video. This video is going to be talking about parenting and basically whether or not the question should you put your children first. I'm going to talk about my opinion on this, and obviously I'd be interested to know what obviously in the comment section what your opinion of this might be. Now, the question, should you put your children first? Now, for me, this is a massive, almighty yes. I've got two children. I've got a daughter of 21, and I've got a boy. Charlie, he's 17 in March coming up. And to me, since the day they were born, they have and they will always be the most important um, people in my life. And I just thought I'd do this video to perhaps, make people perhaps think about their children and whether or not they are perhaps putting their children first. Because I actually think that if you're not putting your children first, then I would say that well, my question will be, why did you have them? That would be the first thing. That would be the first thing I would say to you. Why did you have them children? Because to me, and this is obviously it's a bit of a critical view, if you like, but to me, um, I had my two children. Me and my wife, obviously, got pregnant. We had them children because we wanted them, yeah, because we wanted to have them children. They were and still are a massive part of our life, and obviously, for that reason, they are they are the most important thing in my life. And I sometimes don't understand it. Sometimes when I hear of people who have had kids and like they don't make no effort with them, and I just it bewilders me really. It absolutely, I just do not understand it, and I just don't know. I don't know where this must, where these thoughts, how a person can be that way, because you've actually brought these people into your life, and in my way of thinking, this is my honest opinion, they are your responsibility. Now, I know you're probably thinking, yeah, but when they get to an age, obviously you got to let them loose, and to a certain degree, I totally agree with that. My daughter, she's 21, she's moved out, she's living with a boyfriend, and obviously I still love her and I still want to see her. I don't see a lot of her now because obviously the geography, the distance, but she still knows, she still knows what I think about her, and I still know what I think about her. I love her dearly, and that will never change. That in my eyes, that will never change. And I suppose I can understand parents a little bit if their children have brought them trouble. I mean, I know people, where their kids have gone off hand and they've got involved in different things, and they're basically, the parents have literally wiped their hands of them. And I suppose to a certain degree, I might be able to get my head around that. Although I don't think that would be me. I don't think I could. I don't think whatever happened, I could be that way. So I just wondered, obviously, if you're watching this video and you are a parent, it's just really to make you think about your relationship with your children, and whether or not because bear in mind, you've had them. They've come into the world because of you. Whether you are putting them first, or whether you are, making them a integral part of your life. Because to me, if you're not, I really don't. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Someone who I know, I won't go into names, but they are. It was a lady. Her husband left her, and then she met another guy, and she already had a son. And when she met this new guy, he come on the scene. She had two children with him, and then the other kid, the first one from her first relationship, he's been pushed out. And like, he was homeless for a while. And I just cannot get my head around it. I just cannot get my head around it. You know, how the mum could have ever allowed that to happen, and how that stepdad that come on the scene, how he can look at. I don't get how he can look at himself in the mirror, because to me, he took on that child. You know, he married that woman and he took on that child, and now he's kicking him out. To me, it's all wrong. You know, society's gone mad. So this video really is, you know, like I say, it's just to make you think, you know, to perhaps make you give your children perhaps some, you know, obviously more thought. You know, if you're perhaps, because sometimes kids they can distance themselves from you, and it might be that they're distancing themselves from you. You know, it might be like my daughter now. She's moved away. It wasn't anything I've done. It was just that her boyfriend moved away, and she obviously went with him. But it's still, in my eyes, it's still really important. You know, even with distance, just because they're not in your lap, if you like. To me, she's still a big part of my life. You know, she's obviously not a massive part of my life now because she's obviously moved away, but she's always on my mind, and I think this is what determines whether or not you are a good parent or not, whether you are a loving parent or not. Because I get annoyed sometimes because, you know, when like you hear on the news about these people, you know, they're having like 6 kids and 8 kids, and you know, they've had, one woman's had 4 kids by one bloke and 2 kids by another and another one by another. Do you know what I mean? And that's what's wrong with society. This is what's wrong with society. All these kids, they're all growing up and they've got no direction. They've got no one to theoretically clip them round the ear and to tell them what's right and wrong. You know, this has all got to be stamped. You know, I know it's impossible. How can you stamp it out? But something needs to be done. I think that, you know, if you've had children, you somehow need to be, you know, the government have got to start making people more responsible for them, because otherwise, where are them children going to head? You know what I mean? You see, you know, it's just, to me, it's crazy. If you have a child and that child grows up and, if you like, for want of a better word, becomes a wrong 'un, you can't. I couldn't honestly say it's always going to be your fault, because obviously some people, for some reason, some kids are just like that. But I think you need to be asking yourself the question, you know, if your kid's perhaps heading in a wrong direction, can you do more? Can you do more to help your kid? If your kid's perhaps heading towards drugs, or heading towards getting involved with a gang, or, you know, whatever your kid's doing, it's your child. You brought him in the world. Now, you can't just say, "Oh, I love him," because talk's cheap. Talk is cheap. You know, I used to say to my daughter sometimes, with one of her ex-boyfriends, and she used to say to me, "Oh, he said he loved me, Dad," and I used to say to him, anyone can say they love you, but what are they doing for you? How are they helping you? You know what? You know, with my daughter, I used to say to her, he keeps telling you he loves you, but he never wants to, he never takes you anywhere. You never go anywhere. You know what I mean? It's you know, I ain't being superficial, but what I'm trying to say is, obviously it ain't necessarily all what you do for a person, but in some cases it is. I used to say to her, well, you know, why, why him? And then, like, you know, another subject, she met another boy, and the crazy thing was that this other boy she met, he was the ideal, in my eyes, he was the ideal one, because, you know, he had a job, he had everything going for him, he was gonna, you know, he wanted to be with her, you know, and but obviously for whatever reason he wasn't the one. But what I mean is, judge a person by what they do, not by what they say. And if you're a parent and, like, you keep saying to your kids, "I love you," and "I'll do anything for you," but you don't, well, then you're lying to yourself, because love is just a word. Yeah, love, in my eyes, love is invisible, right? It's action that makes you a good parent. It's action that makes you a caring parent. You know what I mean? You got to keep. When was the last time you phoned? When was the last time you phoned your child to see if he or she was all right? Yeah, because to me, there's so many people having these kids and they're knocking these kids out left, right, and centre. There's no control over it, and these kids ain't getting no direction. And I think as parents, we have to, we've got to be accountable for what our children do. I ain't on about, when they're 18, 20 or whatever. That obviously, once they get to the age of obviously 18, 19 years old, they're obviously grown up and everything. And you can't stop your kids doing everything. But I'm on about the lead, if you like, to that time. Are you giving them all the necessary direction, the love, the care, the support, the home that child needs to become a good person? Because if you ain't, if you're not doing that, then you're not a good parent and you don't love your kids. You can say it till you're blue in the face. You don't love your kids if you're not doing all them things for them. You're kidding yourself. Yeah? Because the end result will be that they come out wrong. The mould's broken and they've come out wrong. You need to know that mould. You need to know that how your, what's the name in your children is right. He's honest. He's good. Because otherwise, what could the end result be? Yeah? What is going to be the consequence? Because this is what we're talking about here. What is the consequence of you not doing this? Yeah? Because I think this is what you need to think about. You need to think about the consequence of you allowing this to happen to your children. Yeah, if you don't know where your kids are and you should do, if you know they're involved in things that they shouldn't be in and you're not addressing it, right? It's your responsibility. I'm going to end my video here. I hope this is like, I hope it ain't struck a nerve, but the idea of it really is just to make you think, perhaps I think a lot of people, it might be that you're busy working, and that perhaps sometimes these things go over your head, but you need to make them a priority. Make your children a priority, in their early life, because so many kids are turning out wrong now. And usually you look at these people on telly that have committed these crimes and have got involved in these horrible things, they've usually come from a background where they've not had no stability, lack of love, might have been abused, whatever it is. And we need to make sure that this is not happening and that our children are being looked after. Yeah. Thanks for watching my video. I hope it's made you think a little bit more about your situation, or perhaps somebody that you know, that perhaps you know somebody whose kids heading if you like, the wrong direction. It's just to, if you like, bring it to the forefront of your mind, make you think about it a bit more. Please like my video, please subscribe, and thanks if you did watch to the end. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Your view is much appreciated. Thank you.